Hey everyone, this is offsetKeyz. Before we get started, I just wanted to pop in and say this episode is going to be intentionally vague and is primarily going to focus on the impact that this project has had on me and DojaSpan. And it's a teaser. Like I said, it's intentionally vague, and we're just trying to pique the interests of people who are trying to break into cybersecurity. If you yourself are not trying to break into cybersecurity, you probably won't get much out of this. But feel free to listen anyways. I just didn't want to lead anyone astray prior to going into it.
Welcome to Unlocking Cyber, a special series from The Daily Decrypt. This is where curiosity meets courage and action is inspired. Join us as we explore pathways for newcomers to carve their niche in the cyber realm, making the complex accessible and the impossible achievable. Your expedition into cybersecurity starts now.
Welcome, listeners, back to the Daily Decrypt. You got offsetKeyz and DojaSpan today. We are going to be discussing our new segment that will be brought to you weekly.
So if you haven't noticed, we've been taking a little pivot with the podcast. The news part, anyways, we're trying to pivot more towards everyday non-cybersecurity professionals bleeding into brand new cybersecurity people getting their feet wet. Everyone has been brand new at some point, and I remember when I was brand new, I couldn't find a single podcast that made any lick of sense. It was actually pretty discouraging. So we're trying to keep things pretty high level and informational. One of the things that we think would have really helped us in our careers is having some sort of guidance. I actually get asked this almost daily, like, how can I break into cybersecurity? So we're going to bring you a new segment that's going to give you some ideas, get those wheels turning on different ways you can use your resources at home and create some industry standard experience from your own house.
Yeah, I can second that. I've definitely gotten a lot of those questions. A lot of people are gauging interest, and a lot of it was the initial, cybersecurity is going to pay a lot of money. And there is money in it, but it's not just that. There's so much more to it. Cybersecurity has evolved even just within the 5-6 years that I've been doing it professionally to this massive industry that offers so many different roles. You can go in as a security analyst if you want to work in the SOC, if you have an interest in breaking things and seeing how things work. There's pen testing. If you like keeping spreadsheets and making sure people are following the rules, there's auditing. You can really find your niche within this space.
Everyone's going to have a different path. Everyone's going to have different interests. Myself, personally, I started as a 30-year-old and pursued my computer science degree and really loved coding, but didn't really know what specific niche I wanted to go into. So I was lucky enough that DojaSpan here provided some ideas for me to get my feet wet and figure out what I like to do. And that doesn't necessarily mean do a bunch of different things. You can get a lot of experience in different areas doing a single project or different facets of a project, which is what we're hoping to bring to you is different ideas to find what you love and start building your path.
I mean, it goes all over the place. I'm sure we'll discuss it in later episodes, but just like offsetKeyz here said, I've gone from just like him studying coding to going into this where I dabbled in IT, spent some time as a musician, and then found my way right back into technology. And now it's just totally absorbed my life. And we're not the only ones. I have colleagues that have been elementary school teachers that went and pivoted.
DojaSpan had a little bit more of a technical background. Tech was always an interest, but never quite a path because of the barrier of entry. It's so scary. So how do you not only find the applicable skills and build the skills you need, but how do you combat yourself? How do you push past the barrier that you're placing on yourself to break into tech? You're your biggest enemy. And like DojaSpan was talking about, if you were a cook, if you were a sysadmin, those jobs can tend to be the only difference between those jobs and tech is someone can hold your hand and you can do those jobs. Someone can teach you how to cook to a T, and then you can be a successful cook. But the really successful cooks figure things out on their own. They experiment. They try different things. They are creative with it. And so we're not going to hold your hands through this. We're going to give you ideas that you can go ahead and take, and we will help you along the way. We will give you advice, but we will not hold your hands. And that right there is the key to breaking into cybersecurity or any tech field, is being able to creatively think about solutions. So we're going to give you this opportunity to creatively think with the ideas we give you.
You know, I really, really like that you put it in that perspective, because time and time again, one of the things that I do hear from people trying to break into the industry or just trying to advance their career even within cyber is that they've gone and followed a tutorial. That's great. I'm not going to downplay it. You went and took the initiative. You followed the tutorial. But did it trigger any thoughts outside of that? Did you decide, oh, I'm really interested? And that's really what like brought us here in the first place. offsetKeyz and I did some websites, and we used to work together doing some web design and video editing and a few other things. We were sent together to a website training class, and it was supposed to teach us to build the websites. And overall, it's really taking the information that's placed in front of you and how can you expand it. And that's, even when we were in that course, she was laying the groundwork, but in between the lessons and, well, to be honest, during the lessons, because we were bored out of our minds, we were doing other things that were exponentially cooler, and that stirred up the conversations, and it got the people that were in the class more interested in doing more than what they were doing. The point of the course was just so some soldiers could update a website, and that's all that they needed to do to check the box. And I'm sure that course would have taught them exactly what they needed to do, but we went in there, we were playing with CSS, we were starting to mess with JavaScript, we were throwing video and just doing different editing, and it really just opened up their minds to what was really capable, what the possibilities were.
Most people who ask me, what do I do to break into cybersecurity? I will tell them an abbreviated version of what we're going to tell you. And they will say, can I just go get a cert? Can I just go get Security Plus? And no one, to my knowledge, has gone through and completed this project. Most of them go struggle to get Security Plus and then really struggle to get a job because they put their weight on checking a box, because they just followed whatever Professor Messer taught them on YouTube about security. They memorized flashcards. They did that's just the point of me saying this is there's no easy button. It just looks shiny on your resume to someone who doesn't understand what Security Plus is. It's not a good option. Get it, get that fundamental knowledge, but use that knowledge to create industry experience through our guidance.
If this is all at all sounded interesting to you, we encourage you to stick around and keep subscribing. Join us on this journey. What we have in store for you next week is that one little project. I'm going to tell you, it is by far one of the easiest things that you're going to do transitioning into this career field, but it's what you can take from it. And honestly, I owe my entire career to this one and only project.
Me too. That's rare to have two people sitting next to each other that have done the same project, that consider that they owe their entire career to this project. Yet both of our projects look nothing alike. They're the same seed of a project, but that's the great thing about what we're going to give to you. And we sound like a telemarketer or like a midnight jewelry commercial. Like we're purposely not teasing it so you don't go watch a YouTube tutorial that's 10 minutes long and whatever. I've been in cybersecurity for 4 years now, and I'm still working on it. I've had 5-6 different titles at this point, and every one of them came from things that I've put into this project.
I can't even wait some days to end my workday just so I can go continue on with something else that has come to mind.
Same. We actually reached deep into our pockets and made a bros weekend going to the conference for this open source product. And if you watch the video from Thursday, February 1st, you will have a little hint as to what the project is. So go back deep into the archives and watch that video. But yes, we know you won't regret it, and we do want to give the disclaimer that it's going to sting a little bit. You're going to have to bang your head against the wall for maybe 12 hours straight. That's the job. We're here to provide you with the opportunity to bang your head against the wall for 12 hours straight and come out stronger, or come out as a burger flipper at Wendy's. These are your two options. No offense to burger flippers. Thank you for your burgers.
Thank you.
So yeah, do you have anything else to add to Doja Spin to that?
On top of staying tuned for our weekly bonus segments, I highly encourage you to continue listening to the news. And if, you know what, you're not interested in the projects and you just want to get the highlights of the day's news, that's totally fine. Let us know in the comments.
Just say hi in the comments would be super sweet. You'd make my day. I really appreciate everyone who's listened. And yeah, we will catch you next time.